3 people going. But this is Riley. He's just chilling. And like, just start thinking, what is an NFT? It's some piece of copyright work usually, or it's some piece of artistic expression, and you basically make a digital version of it, and you sell it off, and then whoever buys it, they can either keep it or they can sell it off again. And that's the concept of an NFT. So I'm showing you guys right now. I'm just showing you guys calligraphies that I've made. But I've made an NFT out of a calligraphy as well, because you could just make it a JPEG, or and you could put it up there. So this is like a huge painting I commissioned on my wall in my place. But it doesn't end there. I think it was Grimes. There's been a few artists now that have made millions of dollars through NFTs. So I just want you guys to think about that as we continue this conversation here. And this is near and dear to my heart. Like, this is important to me because I'm also a musician. I'm also in the music industry. And I see how things have gone. I don't think technology has helped us out in any respect. Even when it came to NP3s, the way Napster played out, and then if you think about after MP3s, then what? Spotify, it got worse. So you're seeing a lot of indie bands now going back to selling. They're selling vinyl again. Because it's recreated a collectible element. So I just want you to think of this as a completely different box over here. Your music business and stuff is over here. Think of over here. Think of this as like, how do I create a collectible out of what I'm doing? So you'll see artists do it with their artworks. Musicians will be doing it with oh, and thanks for joining, everyone. If you got questions, drop them in the chat. Yeah, so basically, think of how do I make my work an artwork? I've had artists with MPEG-4 art. They wanted to turn their art picture into a movable art picture where like the clouds are swirling in the background constantly. So how do you want to create your collectible? Give it some nice thought, because there was a Nike shoe release, Travis Scott or something, and it was with the VeChain blockchain. If you look that up, VE chain, and somehow they were utilizing blockchain to sell sneakers, and it created this scarcity model. It created a mystique. It just puts this in a whole different kind of space. And for your end consumer, this is creating a really cool space for them if you leverage it. And it doesn't take much to leverage it. A lot of the stuff you could do for not very much money or free. So I'll get into that if you guys are interested with how this is going here. So basically an NFT, let's say you're a musician, because this is a music expo, you're going to have some rad artwork or photography for your album usually. and then you have the actual music itself. So you could create like a one-time collectible of a song or an instrumental or something to do with the band. Maybe it's an audio clip. You could create this, okay, Riley, relax. You can create, you can create your artwork in it, because when you load it up, you're going to load up the music, the artwork, and then you're going to set your price that you want to sell it for, or you could put it in what they call an auction. So you could set like a minimum bid, and there's a bidding structure and stuff. So you could do that. You got a lot of control. So this is a way of artists taking control back of how they're monetizing their craft. And this is a way to create monetization into a collectible. So it's not about the music at this point. At this point, you're creating something else. The music is leveraged in the creation of it because that's your work, and that's what's important. But what we're doing here is something different. You're actually creating a collectible. So try to think into, like, you don't have to jump into an entrepreneurial space, but just jump into a creative space here. Some people like to sell, drum bags. Some people like to have their vinyl records. That's the resurgence in indie pop. So if I've gotten your mind captivated here now, let me know, because that's why this is close to my heart, because this is a way that artists can actually get paid directly again and have more control, and it's in a totally different space. So a couple websites you might want to check out if you don't know about them yet. BitClout. Go check out BitClout. You can make an account for free, and if people like your content and it keeps going up, it collects money for you, cryptocurrencies. So check it out. It's like a social media platform, but it's really cool. Oh, thanks, Mark. So yeah, I'm just trying to get it so I can get some the lights acting up a little bit. But yeah, there, maybe that's cool. So like, for example, I could take a picture of this artwork on my wall, create a digital version of it. It was commissioned by artist in the city. And I can make a digital, I can take a nice crispy photo of that and post it up as an NFT and set a bidding price of maybe like half of an Ethereum. So an Ethereum is like 2,500 USD. So you set a minimum bid of half of an Ethereum, and you can let people drive it up, or you can let someone buy it outright, and then you collect the money into your wallet. So what you're going to want to do, BitClout is not what you're really going to use for this. You're going to use BitClout to promote this, sort of like you'd promote something on Facebook. But actually making the product now of the NFT, if you're interested in doing it, now's the time to take a bit of notes. So I'll give you a second to grab some notes materials. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you need to make a wallet, because the wallet will connect to the sites that you're going to sell off of. So I recommend the MetaMask wallet because that's the one that I'm familiar with. So you make a MetaMask wallet. It's free to make, I think. You make the wallet, think metamask.io. If you just Google it, you'll see it. It's like a fox logo. So you make a MetaMask wallet. Now you need to put some money in the wallet, because the way this works is you sort of create your own little network, and on some sites you might be able to mint the NFT. So mint means physically create it, put it out there for someone to view and buy. So the minting process could cost a bit of upfront money just to put it onto the blockchain network, secure it on there. But then at that point, it's just being purchased and then you're making money off of it. And the fees for putting stuff onto a network, it's going to be more money the very first time. And then subsequently thereafter, it's going to be very little money or nothing at all. So I can give you my personal experience. I think I loaded 200 US onto my MetaMask wallet just because I wanted to play with the thing, post a bunch of things, figure out what I was doing. So I put 200 USD on there, and that enabled me to sell basically whatever I wanted this way. And there's a lot of money floating around on there that, like, here, so coinmarketcap.com. I'll just show you how much money is out in these networks and why it's important to at least have it. If 200 bucks US enables me to like enter these markets, I think it's well worth it, because the market cap of cryptocurrency right now is like 1.5 trillion. Bitcoin here, what's their market cap? 676 billion. Ethereum 261 billion. Like, it's ridiculous here. So what I did was, if you're in Canada, or I think this will probably work in the US too, you make a ShakePay account, and the ShakePay account will allow you to e-transfer money to it. And then when you have it on there, you could swap the Canadian dollar into an Ethereum or a Bitcoin. I swapped it into an Ethereum, and then I sent the Ethereum to the MetaMask wallet. Now, when you make the MetaMask wallet, they give you what's called a seed phrase or seed words. Whenever you're making wallets, they're always going to give you these things. Write them down. This is the most important part, because if you ever get locked out of your wallet and, like, let's say your computer just fell off the balcony or something and that was the only thing connected, you need this seed phrase. It's going to be like a series of words, maybe like 20 words or something, and you got to type it in exactly the way it is, and you restore your wallet. So the second you open any wallet, if anything ever gives you a seed phrase, just write it down in your little safety book. You could type it into a Word document, but I've heard about people getting hacked and stuff like that. So best practice, they recommend write it on a piece of paper, or like have a record of, like, I don't know where you keep your passwords and stuff, but like have it. Because if you get locked out of the wallet, you'll usually have like a little code, an easy code to get into the wallet. But if that doesn't work, if it doesn't remember anything, you know, when you clean caches on browsers and stuff like that, if it doesn't remember, that's the way to get back in. So what you're going to want to do, you make your MetaMask wallet. There we go. Yeah, you make your MetaMask wallet. Keep your seed phrase. Now with ShakePay, you don't have to do any of this stuff. ShakePay, what you're going to want to do is, in the MetaMask wallet, figure out what the Ethereum address is. It's going to be a series of letters and numbers, and make sure you copy that. That it usually has copy buttons or QR scans to make sure it's correct for you. But make sure it's correct, and you send from your ShakePay account to the Ethereum wallet on the MetaMask. So now you've sent the 200 bucks, or we'll just do my example. You sent the 200 bucks there, and now you're waiting. It's in the MetaMask wallet. Now what you do is you got to go to an NFT, like a market, a vendor site. So there's a few vendor sites. One's called Rarible. I think that's more for like painted art, stuff like that, picture art. I think maybe you could sell music on there, but that's not what I did. OpenSea is more for, I think, music and stuff like that. So I went to OpenSea, and it's as simple as you don't have to have an OpenSea passwords and all that stuff. What happens is your MetaMask wallet, when you go to the OpenSea, there's a connect button. And whatever, so let's say I'm in my Google Chrome browser. I'm either have MetaMask activated in the browser, or there's also those extension add-ons. So I'd recommend do the extension add-on for MetaMask, and then it's there at the bar for you. So then when you go to OpenSea, you click the connect button. MetaMask will automatically detect to sync to the OpenSea, and then it will ask you for your MetaMask. It might be a 4-digit code. You type in your MetaMask 4-digit code that you made when you made the account, and it'll ask you if you want to sync to OpenSea, so you sync to it. And then once you've synced it to OpenSea, you've created your account essentially, and that's how you log into the OpenSea account. You don't have like separate passwords. You literally, it's a wallet linking verification, and I believe that's like one of the most secure ways to do it. So now when you're seeing these crypto wallets and they connect to the account like that, I think that that's actually for extra added layers of security. So I think it's a good thing. So now you've made the account. We're on OpenSea now, so it's OpenSea, I think, .io. So now when you make the OpenSea account, you're posting you're posting you're going to post your content. You can create collections. So I'd suggest if you have different acts or stuff like that, you could create a this band act. Then you could create a that band act. And so, like, for example, with our SBA, one of our acts is friend gauge shotgun. So we made we can make one for that. The next act is P80. We can make an act for that. The next act is LA40. We can make an act for that. So they're separate collections, and then you could put all the content is coordinated. You could even do it other ways. Like, let's say you're one artist, you do poetry. So one collection's poetry, one collection's the artwork, one collection's the music. Or if you have multiple albums, the albums, each song could be a specific collectible and then they're organized collections. So you could think creatively how you want to organize your collections, what your angle wants to be. You could literally post anything. You could be posting like videos, like you could be like, I have DistroKid, everyone already has my music online. I'm going to be posting exclusive MPEG-4 content, like video content that nobody else gets to get that intimate, connection with the band that way. And maybe they're like 3-minute clips or something, but you're posting these, and then, if you've only made it so only one or only a few of them exist as a minted NFT collectible, if that's what you did, then, someone's going to really want that, that's a fan, and then someone else is going to want that. So they'll watch it with their friends for maybe a month, and then the person can repost it to sell it to someone else. And now your content is floating around, and let's say you posted it for an Ethereum or a half an Ethereum, you got whatever you wanted for that. Or let's say you're a big band and you posted it for, you wanted like the value of a 1 Bitcoin. If someone bought it, you got your money, it'll go right back to that MetaMask account. And then let's say you wanted to cash it out, I think it's just a matter of moving it from the MetaMask account back to your ShakePay account using the Ethereum wallets. And then once it's in the ShakePay account, you could send it back to however you e-transferred it in. So that's the chain of actually getting the money back out. Now, there's a lot of resources online and YouTube just to make sure you don't mess up. But the number one thing to remember is anytime any of these things gives you a seed phrase or seed words, you literally stop everything you're doing and you get a physical piece of paper and you write the shit down and you put it where you need it. Because without that, if you lose that kind of stuff, then you're in trouble. And every time you're sending the the stuff from one account to the other. So let's say I'm going from ShakePay to MetaMask. Um, make sure the digits are correct. Take an extra. What I do is I take an extra few seconds and I make sure like the first 3 digits of the address and the last 3 digits of the address are like the same, and the length of it looks like it's the proper length of it. Um, and you can also use the copy features they give you and the QR scan right on their site to because it's designed there so you don't mess up to help you. So yeah, just think about that. There's a big ecosystem of money, and it's all people that are into cool niche stuff. They're already into cryptocurrency. So think of it that way. That's already sort of a niche of its own. How many people do you know that are like, oh yeah, I'm into it, I know what I'm doing? Like, there's not too many people that I know, but somehow the market cap is ridiculous. Go to coinmarketcap.com. There's trillions of dollars floating around in there. And the fact that the money's in there, it means that it was surplus money that people didn't have to live on. They plugged the money into this. So what's stopping them from plugging it into your cool collectible or your cool art or your cool works? So when I say art, I mean music, like any form of artistic expression. If you can capture it, make a digital copy of it, like you could start thinking of it like that. So yeah, here I'll see if there's any questions or anything. Here, did anyone check out the poll? And in the chat, I'm just curious if you guys are musicians or like what cool collectibles have you seen besides records and videos? And like I'd like to know because like I made a run of guitar picks before. Like there's cool stuff you could do, but when you create something in digital realm, you don't have to travel with it. You don't have to bring it with you. It's up there 24/7. Even when you're sleeping, it's up there. So it's working while you sleep. It's one of these concepts. So that's another thing that, was close to my heart here. Because I was like, how can I get this thing working for me while I'm sleeping? Because there's only 24 hours in a day and you can only perform X amount of hours and the online reach, right? So utilizing these tools. So yeah, let me know what you think. Yeah, so the first NFT I made, I have one live right now. Here, I'll just read it off, just to give you guys an idea. It's a beat. It's a music beat. So what I put in the description is whoever buys this beat owns the beat and they can use the beat, basically. Now, you don't have to go to those extents, but I just wanted to test this out and just see, wow, like, does this mean I could sell a beat to someone across the world? And I put in my description, like, you own this beat if you really wanted it, like, to the point where I'll even send you the session or stem it out, give you the beat, and you can make your own song with it. And then if you sold it for like on Ethereum, it'd be like $2,500 US. If you sold it for a few, let's say you said 3 or 5 Ethereum. Let's say I'm a big producer and I want 15,000 a beat or something. You put that price on it, someone buys it, and then you send them the files after they bought it as well. Because I wouldn't recommend loading all the files and all that jazz up to the blockchain. You just load up your MP3 to the blockchain or your WAV file of like the beat mixed down, and yeah, someone like I've already had people inquire about beats. I think the price I put for the beat initially was a few Ethereum, and I just adjusted it to half an Ethereum because Ethereum, so half an Ethereum, I think it's still like $1,200 US. So if it sells, that's what you would get for the beat. So, and you could set your own price. Let's say I only want to, my fans, you know, let's say you've done market research, you know what your fans, you know, medium, you know, their sweet spot for buying is $50 or $20 or $100. You cater the collectibles to that, and then maybe you don't make one exclusive collectible of it. Maybe you've made 30 of these things. Instead of just one. Because think about when you only make one of something, I think that's sort of what creates scarcity. So if you're going to make one of something, because you can also, when you mint it as an NFT, it's almost like a coin. It's a non-fudgeable token is what they call it. So you can't subdivide it up again. It stays as its whole entity, basically. So think about it like that. So yeah, let's say I was going to post something for $20 or $50. I'd probably make 20 or 30 of them and saw what happened. And then as they're selling, then there's only 20 or 30 people that have that. And then as your fan base grows, you know, now your fan base is, you know, 1,000 people or something. And, you know, there's only 30 of those floating around. And let's say a lot of your fans want them, then, you know, the price gets driven up on it, or maybe that's what validates the price that you have posted. But yeah, think creatively. I've heard of, like, there's even digital holograms, there's digital, you know, artwork that moves, there's video, there's your own music content, there's so many ways to go about this. Basically, if you can make a digital version of whatever you had your attention on, that boom. And if you think that that's going to translate to your fans, you know, your fan base, you start testing, test. You'll know right away, oh, no one's visiting this, oh, everyone's liking this. And then you could post the link to the sale. You post it to Facebook, you post it to your BitCloud account, which is a similar social media, but it's for these crypto, like, people on BitCloud are more your crypto crowd. So yeah, post it on Facebook, post it wherever you're doing your marketing, post it on your website. You could even have NFT sign-up tent when you're allowed to have an event again. Yeah. But it looks like we're close to 12:30 here. So, okay, Lucas, musician and drummer. So there's a way to do drumsticks. I know a record store, a music store where they'd make their own drumsticks. You get 2 drumsticks. I think they're $5 a drumstick or something, and you could rebrand your own drumstick. and sell it as a collectible. Sell it for like 25 bucks for a pair or something. I don't know. But yeah, or there's cool, let's say you have cool content, like extra drummer content, where some people just want to hear the drummer going out for like a cool 3-minute rip or something. And sometimes these rips aren't encapsulated on your works, your albums, your songs. So your drum heads will mark out to that. So I don't know if you're still here, but yeah, I hope that that helped. And yeah, Alex, thanks for showing up. Yeah, it's an extra marketing tool. It's a whole pool. It's a whole pool of people you might never have even have pitched your post to if you weren't in this space. Because people on Facebook, people on social media, people on Rolling Stone website, people on these spaces online, these are like different people you might never have ran into because they're in these ecosystems because they like cryptocurrency. And then when you look at the market cap of the amount of money in there, you have to at least have one offer, one call to action in there, like in the space. So yeah, so if anyone has questions or anything, here, I'll put this is my Instagram. You can DM me. If you have any question or anything, the email is the same too. It's at gmail.com. So 416sba@gmail.com too. If you want to prefer an email. But yeah, if you got a question about this stuff, I could kick you to a resource or something, or like, yeah. Because if you are interested, I've had a lot of people talking about how the NFTs made in the first year or two, they're going to have an extra element of collectible because it's like that very first one that was ever made. Because when this is mainstream 3, 4, 5 years from now, you're going to want to get in on it now. There were artists that got in on Napster. Now, Napster, you were just giving away your stuff for free, if you remember that. But you're just giving away your MP3s for free, essentially. So there were some bands who were not big. They intentionally put their stuff on Napster. It's a whole new community of people that, wow, we had the internet. Not many people had the internet. I had a computer fast enough to actually download off a Napster, and I was getting the music. That was a whole new pool of people you might have never, ever, ever ran into. And there were certain bands that they just posted their stuff on Napster for free, and they became famous because they got an extra 10,000 fans off of Napster quickly that would have never else seen them. And then you get other bands like Metallica and Dr. Dre and stuff suing Napster when Napster was really doing them a favor in a way. So this isn't like that in the way that works are getting stolen and stuff. This is a way that you have control over it because you posted it up. Now there probably are people posting up stuff they don't own on this, but they're getting shut down. So it's getting policed if that is happening. But like anything else, there's copywriters in music. Like there's always stuff getting posted and someone's trying to make a buck off of someone else's thing. That always happens. But don't let that deter you from this, because this is actually a great opportunity for, because if all your traffic will listen to you, there's some artists where I'm only selling off of Bandcamp, and my fans listen to me. I send them to Bandcamp, they send me my money. I don't need your platforms, whatever. So if you have control over your fan base like that, you can start sending them here. You know, I personally like to be on everything, so I'll blast it to iHeart. I'll blast it everywhere because I want it everywhere. But there's some artists that are like, no, I'm like Mystique, and I have like a really cool fan base. They listen to what I do. So if that sounds like you, I think it's even easier to be porting people over into this space to buy your collectibles. And then you got to see there's so much money in this space already that people, like, you don't think out of the millions and millions and millions of people doing the crypto that there's not a few people that really like your stuff, and they're going to run into your stuff when you're posting it on BitClout, or when they're searching music on OpenSea, or when they're searching your artwork on Rarible. And yeah, just Google NFT and NFT websites, and you'll see there's even more option. Every day there's probably like a new option to sell off of, and the price is even cheaper. They're using there's even NFTs now being minted on what they call the Solana network. So if you look up that Solana, you can make your NFT on that now, and it avoids the Ethereum. So the Ethereum gas fee I was telling you about, how I loaded $200 up to that, $200 US to that account and sent it over just to start the whole thing. And after I put a few things up, then I had enough money in the thing where I could just keep posting stuff and it was fine. It wasn't charging me. But it was just a bit of an initial cost to get in. Now they're making NFTs on this Solana network, which is taking off. And the gas fee is like pennies compared to Ethereum. So if you even just Google how to do it through Solana, how to mint an NFT with Solana network and then sell it, you're going to be paying like just a few dollars to do it. You don't have to pay. Like I did this before anyone else, so the fees was a little bit more on the early onset. So yeah, look into it. There's a million ways to do this. And yeah, if you just feel overwhelmed and lost, shoot me a DM or a message, and I'll send you a resource or a link or something, and hopefully that just helps you get started so you can get something up there. So yeah, take care, everybody. I'm glad. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, if there's no questions, I think that's the presentation. You guys could follow me. And here, we'll say bye to Riley. He's getting antsy now. Oh, thanks, Bubble. Yeah, good boy. Okay, take care, everybody. Thanks for having us.